Hello, YouTube. It's been a while. Do you want an update? Hi, my name is Dan. I'm a vicar in the Church of England, and this is just following my life of living out my faith, my journey, and all that it brings. But it's been a while since I've done an update. We've been so busy as a church. My time's been taken up with lots of other things. I'm actually in church at the moment in this beautiful church that I serve in, St Giles Parish Church in Chalfont St Giles, should I say. It is an amazingly beautiful historic church, but we've been on a journey, and it's a big journey, and I thought I'll update you on that, and then I'll promise I'll start posting more videos. We are in Christmas, by the way. I'm just here for every Friday for 2 hours. I come into church and call it Red Dan's Open Door, and people can come and see me. I realise that in my role, I can be really busy, and this morning I was stuck in the office. Doing things, getting things ready for the service on Sunday. That takes me away from being out. So what I do is come in here every Friday and sit, and every Friday someone's come. So I might have to pause the video if someone does come. I've been doing it for months, and there's always been someone here. It'd be strange not to. So what have we been doing as a church? So, a lot. We are a small church, but a church that is really wanting and willing to change. In a sense, that's why I was called here. And we have, in November, we had a meeting, our leadership meeting, we call it the PCC. And we restructured the way that we operate as a church with our leadership and our PCC and our subcommittees of the PCC. So, you like a pastoral group and worship group, and what else is there? Eco committee and fabric and finance. There's a lot. We had 10, and we've had that. We've got that down to 5. We still have groups, but we just want them to work a bit more efficiently. We've changed our mission and vision and values for the church as we go forward in this new time. So our mission now is loving people, transforming lives, and glorifying God with a vision. What we're striving to do and to be tomorrow is to be a thriving church, bringing God's blessings to our village, our parish, through prayer, through relationships, and through living our faith out daily. And our values are based on the word gospel, of being generous, of open, seeking, praying, engaging, and listening. And I purposely left those just as words and not trying to bring anything more out of them, because for different people, they'll mean different things. For generous, for some people it might be money. For other people it might be with time. Again, with open, some people might think about having this church open. We open the church from April till September, do 2-hour shifts, and people voluntarily give their time to do that. Other people will think about being open to listening to God. Same thing with seeking those who need prayer or help, or seeking God, going deeper. So being open with that and what God's telling us, and of course they change over time. So it's a really exciting time as we go into Advent and Christmas, and then the other big thing that we've done as well, and we did this all in kind of one go, which was a big change for the church, and they're so gracious. But it's a good time to do it because we're going into Christmas, and we've got a great message to give out to our parish, to our village. We're changing our services. So basically, at the moment, we have an 8 o'clock BCP communion, which is Book of Common Prayer. It's the original Church of England service, and we're still having that. But we had a 10 o'clock, and 1 week we'll have a communion. So we'll have our robes, and we'll have a choir up there, and then what we'll have is so a communion service at the top there. And then the next week we'll have a non-communion service, and it'll be more less formal, as it were, and I wouldn't wear robes, but we still have the choir. And then we'll have communion, and then we'll have this non-communion service, And it was just a bit confusing, especially if you're growing church and you want people to come join you. They might come to one service, like the communion service, and say, oh, I love this, and then come the next week, and then we're not in robes, and I'm like in a suit, and still with my collar. But it was a different service using AV, which would have got a screen that drops down from up there. So we wanted to, we had a big discussion. We've been discerning for a long time, actually, as a church, since before the summer, using Jeremiah 29 verses 4 to 14, but definitely concentrate on verse 7, which is really become central to all that we are and do, and that's a verse that has followed me through since I've been training in curiosity, and that's seek the peace seek the peace of the place which I have sent you. You've got to remember it now, it's been a while, and pray for it on its behalf, because in its prosperity you will find your prosperity. And in exile as well. Seek the peace of the place that I sent you in exile, and we are in exile because we want to be with God in heaven, but we're here. Anyway, so we was discerning, and this is what come out in our conversations in our leadership team, and it's a big change. So we're having through those conversations, what we're doing is we're having a communion service every week at 9 a.m. with our robes and our choir, organ, and then at 11 a.m. then we're having coffee in between, and then at 11 a.m. it's a more contemporary service. So we're basically splitting out the services, and the only real change in them is that instead of having a choir at the 11 a.m. we'll have more modern music, and we'll have a band, and we've got a piano over there. And sometimes, and most of the time, I probably just have to use videos at the start, but having more modern worship. But the actual how we do the worship won't change, because the format's pretty much there anyway, and I've been using that format since I've come. And it's engaging with the local community. You know, at Sunday at 10 a.m, we can get 50 to 55 people, and we've got 6,500 people in our parish. And we've got other big churches around. We're not in competition with them, but you know, a lot of people have said, I've been to your church, but I now go somewhere else. They live in our village and they want to come to our church, and it's just not there where they are. So by giving a clear, concise offering of what we're doing, so it's like expanding an offering really, we will be able to, all those people who want to come and worship with us, come and worship with us. But it's not just, you know, one thing that I don't want to do as a church is move Christians from one church to another, is actually get those who don't know Jesus to come to our church, to know him, to love him, and to be part of our church community. But, you know, God will call people here who live in our village to be part of this exciting journey we're on. So, you know, that's one of the reasons I've been so off YouTube and social media is there's been a lot of work, a lot of work. But we're there now. And so we're at Christmas now. So it's a really exciting time in the church, going through Advent. We had our Christingle service last week. We got other services this week. And as we go into Christmas, later into Advent towards Christmas, we get more of our carol services and stuff like that, and we get to go in the pub and do some carols, and we're going to go on the back of tractor and things, do carols. So I just got to work out how I can capture and record some of these. Now I'm just doing this on my phone, which is okay, because I'm just here today, so I might carry stuff around to do on my phone, but then it's always nice when I do it on my camera, because it's a bit better quality and it doesn't shake around as much. So there's an update of what's been happening in the life of this church, and where we're going, and what we're doing. There's so much happening, and I do keep thinking about all the things that I could be saying, all the videos that I could be making. But now I have more time to do that and to invest in that, and it's been a while, and I miss it. But yeah, so now it's back. Now you'll join us on our exciting journey as we go into next year, and see what it is for me as I live out my faith. Being called, I say a vicar, I'm not a vicar. My title is rector, but a lot of people don't know that. So we can just call it vicar or Rev Dan, as I am now well known. There's been great things going on here. I've got to turn on the lights in the village with Santa. that was good fun a couple of weeks ago. And all these videos, hopefully next year, I'll be able to bring you. And Chris Dingle, which was really great fun as well. So and you can see church is kind of getting ready for, well, it is ready. That's our Advent rings and Christmas. We're getting our Christmas tree. It's over there. We've got an artificial Christmas tree this year, all we have for the past few years. That's just over there. It's going to get decorated. We've got the kids coming in on Tuesday for our junior school, which will include my daughter, to sing the Christmas carols, and this church will be packed. We're doing it in two sessions, year 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6, because they're double form entry, meaning it's about 60 kids in each, so it's 120 when you think about the parents. So it's a great opportunity for that outreach of giving the good news of Christmas. So there we are. There's an update, and finally we'll get the ball rolling. And I'll have 2 other challenges. If you don't do it, then when you do it, you might as well go big. So I'm really starting my Fulfilling Life, which is a weekly devotional. That'll start in the new year. And using to help me, I'm using all my old videos to set that off. And also Revved Up, which is Sermons from the Saddle, which is, at the moment, it's going to be quite cold. So it's riding on my motorbike and preaching sermons. But the thing about that is, I don't use notes anyway, and I got a certain way of preaching. But from that, it's really raw. So we're going to go through the book of Mark, and it's going to take over a year. I divide it up. It's going to take 13, 14 months to get through, doing one a week. It's going to be very cold at the start. I don't know how it is so cold at the moment here. I don't know how I'm going to do it without my helmet steaming up. Yeah, I need to get the visor closed to be able to keep the noise down. But just preaching through Mark, but it's not with notes. And so you can't be clever about this. You just preach from the heart, and that's my style of preaching anyway. So really looking forward to that, and combining 2 things: riding around on my motorbike around country lanes and preaching. So just need to keep my That's a challenge. That's why it keeps it. That's what keeps it raw and real, I should say. So those are both starting the new year. So look forward to those, and we'll get back on this as well. So I will see you soon. Such an exciting update, and let's enjoy this journey together.